Hi, St. Peter's people. It's that time of year again for our stewardship focus, and some things don't change, like the fact that I'm here again with a temple talk. Otherwise, just about everything in our world is different. I dare say that all people, even the most adventurous amongst us, are somewhat rattled by change. Even when it is change that we seek, it takes extra effort and thought to deal with it. And the changes we've experienced this year certainly weren't ones that we've wished for. So what good could come from any of this? And how do we keep being us as the people of God at St. Peter's when we can't all be together at St. Peter's? How do we still share in ministry here? So here's my personal experience. As many of you know, I like to spend as much time as possible at camp on Branningham Lake. As my free time is primarily on weekends, it means that I very rarely make it to church on summer Sundays. I tell people that I'm a river snowbird. Snowbirds migrate away for the winter. I migrate away for the summer. But this year, I've joined in worship nearly every Sunday. Having remote access to worship has been a wonderful thing for me. In normal times, Sunday mornings are a hectic rush to get myself and all I need together and out the door to get to church on time. Now, getting ready for church means making sure my phone is charged. I don't care how I look, and trust me, it's usually not pretty. Pajamas and don't care lake hair are the norm. So let me welcome you to St. Peter's on the Lake and Sherri Sanctuary. So here's my commute route. Out the door and down 15 steps. My sanctuary space is in the corner of the deck. I set up my rocking chair behind a giant pine tree so that I can see the phone screen without the sun in my eyes, and incidentally, to more effectively borrow the Wi-Fi signal from my sister next door. Thanks, Deb. On Communion Sundays, I set up my mini red Solo cup of wine and whatever type of bread I have, which has ranged from pizza crust to pumpkin bread. I have learned the hard way, however, that I have to safeguard my bread so that it's not stolen by the squirrels who share my space. Now, obviously, this is a great personal convenience for me, and I recognize that I'm incredibly blessed to have this place that I love to retreat to. But there have been other unexpected benefits, too. Most of us are creatures of habit. At worship, we tend to sit in the same spots in the sanctuary every week. Those spots almost become part of our identity. As in, you know who I mean. They sit in front of so-and-so on the left side in the fourth pew on. I'm a right side, middle-ish sort of person myself. But now we're all scattered in different places. But the change in perspective does have advantages. From my pew with a view, this is what I've discovered. First, it makes me much more focused on the message. Over the summer, Pastor Katie did a series of sermons with a creation theme, and those in particular were very meaningful to me. It was amazing how many times she would say something in her sermon that corresponded with something in nature happening in front of me. The sun would break through the clouds and sparkle on the water, or a sudden breeze would blow through the trees, or a loon would call across the lake. It was like God was speaking directly to me, which caused quite a few goosebump moments. Remote sharing of communion has also been very special. For me, it's extremely personal, while at the same time it evokes a very strong sense of community. I think about being at God's table with all of you and with people all over the world in all kinds of settings and circumstances. I wonder about how many people, just by chance, are taking communion at that very same moment. So this is us, the family of God at St. Peter's at this time. We've had to be creative and intentional to stay connected in new ways, by phone, text, mail, online, or in the parking lot. And it's not at all the way we've always done things. Don't get me wrong, I desperately miss being together with all of you and joining in the traditions we all know and love. But there are things that have evolved that are positive, things that we would never have been motivated to explore without our current circumstances, and the things that can make us better and stronger when we can finally return to normal. The continued financial support and ideas and talents and efforts of many people have allowed us to continue to do God's work both here and far beyond the walls at St. Peter's on Old Oneida Road. Thank you all for continuing to be us in whatever way that works for you. And that includes those of you joining us in worship online who we may not know or ever meet. It's great to have you with us too. So let me share one last St. Peter's at the Lake observation. I love to watch sunrises, and I have thousands of pictures to prove it. The thing is, when the sky is clear and the weather is perfect, sunrises are beautiful. But the most breathtaking and spectacular ones come with the bad weather. The clouds provide additional dimensions for the colors to be reflected on. So the whole red sky in the morning, sailors take warning thing may hold true, but I prefer to consider those times to be God's wake-up call to see the beauty and the wonder that exists throughout adversity. Maybe that's what we're supposed to be looking for in these difficult times. So here's to changes in perspective. I'm missing the view of my fellow right side middle-ish neighbors. Hugs to you, Bev and Sandy and Sherri, Jim and Janet and Marge. You're much better neighbors than the squirrels who steal my bread. But I thank God for the connections between us all that don't need to be seen to be felt. So keep the faith, stay safe and well, and take comfort in the fact that this is still us, we the people of St. Peter's Lutheran Church in Verona and beyond. God bless you all.